think we're live. So hello, Jay. This is week 7
Sounds right.
of doing the Legacy Code. Uh, I seem to remember last time we were just starting to get into the solver part. Yeah, are we on a new branch for the week?
Make one right now. And we should strategize a little bit. Check out.
All right, and let's go take a look at whatever it was we were looking at before. Somewhere in program, I feel like there was a solver or something. So we do the play, we solve the puzzle. We go to the solve puzzle. And our tests are passing right now?
I expect them to, but Crunch is still catching up.
Still catching up. All right, no worries. Yeah, there we are. Green. Happy green. So if we scroll down into this solve puzzle and scroll down into here. Yep, okay, this is reminding again. So we have the boards as numbers. We sort of find the first state of the board. Oh, now I'm totally remember. So pick cells with only one candidate. Remember, I think we have like a comment there, right? 76.
Right, we gave ourselves a to-do. Hey,
Yep.
thanks,
So we're
past
headed
us.
here. So what we're trying to do is sort of figure this out. So let's go. Let's open up the pick cells with only one candidate left. Yeah. We really don't need that region. That's this entire method. There we go. All right. And then we have this. This is where we're headed. I feel
Hold
like
on.
we should get rid of that as well.
So this shows uncommitted. Yeah, this is the problem we had last time.
Where it's showing uncommitted even though it's not.
Yeah, so what did it do? Like, it committed something. That looks like the right change to me.
Oh. So we think there's just something weirdly broken right now.
Well, so here's the local change.
Huh.
I don't want to spend any time diagnosing this, but we need something that'll work for us.
Does it work better if we go to get desktop?
Let's try that. So that says no changes, which is good.
Okay.
And I don't see a committed change. That is not good.
Have we saved the file?
Yeah, it is saved. If I hit undo. Okay, the region is back.
Okay, delete the region.
Well, hold on. So I should expect no changes right now because we just did an undo. And I expect this still doesn't match what's happening in Visual Studio.
Yeah, but let's assume that Visual Studio Get is just not acting correctly.
Okay, I'm going to close that so I don't use it.
Yeah, and then stay in GitHub Desktop. And this goes under the general don't be
I have the
blocked
run
concept.
project open.
Okay, this is what we expect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you go? Yeah, there you go. And so let's commit. Okay, let's go back. And then, so this single candidate indices, right? Let's pull that out into a method, and I'd really like to see it on,
You want this thing to be a method?
I mean, I do, except for, okay, so this gives the indices. These are the zero, because we have a candidate, okay, let's try this again. We have a candidates.board, right? And that gives us the thing. But from the candidates, it'd be really nice to say, give me, like, what is candidates? Let's go look at candidates.
Where is candidate? Candidate masks? Is that what you're thinking? Candidates board
Candidates
here.
there. Yeah, go into that. I think that right now is just a placeholder. Yeah, it just has a board. Okay, so now let's go back into where we were. And what I want to do here is extract 49 through 58. Actually, hold on. Oh, yeah, no, we need to do that. Extract that. And this is going to be get um, get single options remaining.
Really?
Yeah. You say that with like huge speculation.
Yeah, I don't know. That
But,
name doesn't tell me what that method is about.
okay. Get cells with only one candidate remaining. How's that? Okay. And now let's move this into, yep. Let's move this into the candidates class.
As a
Actually,
static.
for right now, yeah. I'm not sure if this will do it nicely, but I almost want to inline candidates mask just on line 49. Should be able to inline that, right?
I would think so, but my key bindings are not doing what I expect them to do.
All right, right click on it and refactor inline variable. Yeah, but it did it in both places. But that's
Let's
okay.
just do it by hand.
Yeah.
Oh, you
no.
want to...
By hand is fine. By hand is what I want. Nope. No.
I am overzealous.
That's what I want. There we go. And now let's move this method onto candidates.
I'm going to shrink this. It's so distracting to have it block our view while I'm committing. That's right about there.
You can put them side by side if you want.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. It's going to take up too much space the rest of the time.
Yeah, I feel.
But this will do the trick.
Okay.
So, okay, you want to move this onto candidates?
Yep, that definitely belongs on candidates.
Control RO is bringing up change signature.
Oh, I forgot to bring up chat. Let me pull that up while we're doing this.
There we go.
Okay, and then don't pass in candidate's board, because that's stupid.
Well, it needs to become instance before we can do what you're saying.
Yeah.
You want me to do this in smaller steps?
No.
Okay. It's to be green now.
Yeah, so it's doing this weird thing again where it seems to get program file twice. But don't know what to do about
And then make non-static.
Yep. There we go. And the mask to 1 count, that also doesn't, it should, like, go check that
I think that's one of
dictionary.
these magic static
Yeah, so it
things
should
that
just be in here. So go find out who calls just to look up structures. Prepare lookup structures.
So let's scan for how many places this is used. I'm going to guess it's only this one place.
That sounds good. Let's do that.
So there's a use and there. So this is in is try to find groups of digits applesauce.
Well, just do this. So we already have this in the create the lookup structures, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just go to the create for lookup structures.
Mm-hmm.
And let's call it again in here. So we don't have to pass it around. We'll just recreate it for this thing.
Call what again?
So go to the place where we create lookup structures. Yeah. So
And do you want to make this a constructor?
no, so I want to copy basically that line.
This line. Okay. Oh, instead of passing lookup structures everywhere, we'll just create one when we need one.
Yeah. So go up to where we were. And no, go to constraints or candidates. Go to candidates. And just make a static here on 7.5. Yeah, we're there. Yeah, whatever. You can just paste. Yep, and put the static read only in front of it. Get rid of the bar. Delete the word bar.
Needs to call it. Well,
Delete the word
it needs a
bar.
type. I'm not going to delete the var. It needs a type.
Okay.
It can be lookup structures.
Lookup structures. Yep. And then you need to do something to, yeah. And maybe make that public. There we go. And then it's still there. Okay. So then don't pass in this dictionary on 17. But instead, where it says mask 1 to count, you're going to say lookup structures. Yeah, mask 1 to count.
Ones count.
Are we passing?
No, we got to fix the color. Should be passing now.
All right, commit that.
What is that called?
Move lookup structures into candidates. Okay, so now the next thing that's really annoying about this, right, is we get back these indices, right? And then we go through and we get the indice, then we get the candidate masks for that indice, and then we do something single bit to index on a
I think we
candidate
looked at
mask.
this last time. We can switch this to first. It's not
No,
like
we
it'll
can't.
change.
It changes the behavior.
It changes the behavior, but not the solution.
Yeah, but for right now, that is not a can of worms I want to open.
Okay.
I want I agree with what you're saying, and if I had a product owner here, I would absolutely like start asking that question. But without a product owner, let's just say behavior stays identical,
Okay.
because we can be absolutely sure that that's fine. But the thing that I'm still not liking is we're doing this weird thing where we set it and then we set it again and then we sort of set it again and then it's just super annoying. And then so like right now even like line 160 or 62, we can delete that. And then the rest of this is doing a lot of complicated stuff that I wish it wasn't. So let's start by, rather than getting we're gonna do a weird thing, but like go to candidates, get cells with only one candidate remaining. Okay, so this comes by, it does this thing, and then it does that, and it returns a single candidate indices. So before we do a select, I want to do a map. So between 27 and 28. Yep. So new line here. No, after the select. We're going to do a select again. And then let's go back to where we were. And copy lines 58 and 59. And paste them basically in here. We're going to return this. So we're going to return an object that has a row and a column. And it can't be anonymous because we're returning it. So we're going to have to, what's a good way
We
to,
have a type
do we?
for that.
I'm really glad
So
we do.
we're not using it everywhere, but it does exist somewhere.
Is it just a point? A row column? A cell? Do we have a cell?
How would we find it?
Let's
Somewhere
just make
there's.
it. Just make it. I don't
But
see it anywhere here, so let's make it. So just do a select cell.
so it doesn't bother you that we might be making a second one?
I don't see the object right now, so it doesn't bother me. No, you can't do cell goes to. You have to go do select I goes to. And then new cell. Actually, I don't even like that. Just say cell dot from index. And then pass it I. Yep. And then cut that. And then let's make this cell dot from index. Oh, wait, hold on. So utterly revert everything I've told you to do. I still want to do it. I'm just doing it in a much bigger chunk than I should be doing. And I just saw how to do it in smaller chunks. So now go to lines 360 and say new cell yep, and then pass it. Good, and you can make that public. I don't care. A new cell and then pass it row column. Yep, and then hold on to it. And then quick fix that so that exists. And that should be a totally valid refactoring where we're doing the introducing dead code refactoring. I would do auto properties.
Why? What value does that have? They're just numbers.
They're just numbers. Okay, so we're just doing fields that look like properties. Sure.
So commit.
Yep.
Okay. We're not really using it anywhere, but
Yeah, that's fine.
it exists.
Okay. So now what I want to do here is on 362, I want to use cell.row, cell.column.
Okay.
And actually, pretty much every place. Actually, just do this. Oh. Oh, so weird. Okay, do this. Do row equals. Yeah, just replace those with cell.row. Yeah, that's fine. Just cell.row. Cell.column, and you need to do it also down on 365. Okay. And then that should work. So now take this row, cell, and pull that out into a method called from index. Good. And then move that onto cell as a public static. And now we can go to that map and have it return cells instead of so now we're going to get with only one candidate remaining and put a map inside of here.
All right, so far, is that what you're thinking?
That is, yep, totally what I'm thinking. But now this is going to cascade. So delete where it says, so candidate mask is going to be, so okay, so single candidate index is going to be single candidate. But we won't change the name right now. But so here where it says index is going to be, oh. So you're saying we need to be able to get back to, so a cell needs to be able to give us the index. That's super annoying, but let's go do that.
I'm glad it's there and not strewn about the code.
Yeah. Index. Sure.
Do we have a handy way to do that?
Yep. It's going to be index time. It's going to be row times 9 plus column. And then let's call it over here. And wherever the red is, yep, there it is.
Took away the red because I reverted. So what you want is, I'm going to bring back here.
Yep. We can clean up that part later. Just mental note to do it.
It's now going to return cells. You want this to do to index.
Yep. And then you can delete lines. Well, here just say cell equals single cell index. And then inline that.
Get that.
And
What are we
then
inlining? Inline cell?
inline cell, yeah. But then I'd rename single candidate index. Yeah, sorry, I'm going too fast.
Just cell?
So, yeah, to cell.
I don't know if you noticed, I'm pausing long enough to see that crunch does indeed
Come
pass
back
before I
green.
push
Yeah.
commit. Yeah.
So the next thing is, the candidates, I would like those to be in the cell, right? So if we go to, when we get cells with only one candidate remaining, I'd like cell itself to have candidates, right?
I don't know. Tell me what to do.
Well, so I feel like we're doing this twice because we must. So go up to the get cells with only one candidate remaining. So here we mask this. So we select these with the mask, and then we check the ones where the candidates count equal 1, right? And then we give it back the index, right? But since we already have a candidates count, we should also just have a. So go back to the code, the program, and then so here we take this candidates mask, and then we take the candidates, grab lines 55 and 56. Yeah. Whatever we're doing here, this is the thing that we want. So copy this. And then go back to candidates. And then paste it on 24 and a half. Inside of this tuple. Okay, and yeah, get rid of those and put commas. And also on the index on 24, you need a comma. Okay, so this gives us the index. It gives us, so candidate masks, that is going to be mask. Single bit to index. No, wait, undo. I think you need the second part at the moment. We'll come back to that. It's going to be index. It's going to be mask, comma, index.
I'm not sure where you want me to type that.
Where it says cell to index, that's just index. And then here where we say single bit to index, this is going to, the candidate mask is going to be mask. And single bit to index, what is that? I think that's part of lookup structures, but let's go check it. Single bit to index is part of
Income
lookups.
parameter.
Yeah, it's probably part of lookup structures.
Yep.
Yep. So let's put that in right here. Yeah. Okay, what's going on with this mask index? Why is
Mask is an int.
Oh, so maybe it's just mask.
I worry when you're guessing. Nope.
Yeah, no, totally legit. I'm a little confused on why anything we did here would make it red though.
Because an out of bounds lookup, I'm guessing right here, we just remove that line. Does it go green? Yeah.
Okay.
So I accept this change. This one, not so much.
Yeah, fair enough. So here, the count does the mask to 1 count on the mask. But the single bit to index is not. How is that not? How is that going out of range? Oh, no.
So you tried to bring in 2 lines. Can we take advantage of one of them?
Yeah, sure. Candidate mask.
So what is this useful for?
Um, that's an excellent point. It's I'm not sure. If we go back to the cells, or sorry, to the program, uh, and to the place where we're doing this. No, no, yeah. So, yeah, there. So here we get the cell and we get the masks for the cell, right? So that's saying what are the possible candidates? Candidate masks? What are candidate masks? Candidate masks of the board. Yeah. So this is saying what are the possible candidates for this cell?
So it's an 81 element array where each integer has 9 significant bits, each one representing one possible value
Yes.
if it's on, or not possible if it's off. Okay.
Your camera, by the way, is frozen. You want to toggle it on and off?
Oh yeah, 3 times. I'll do that. I'll try. Yeah, Zoom is kind of stuck.
So, no camera. Okay. Oh, maybe camera back. There we are. Now you're live.
Oh, cool.
I mean, you were live before, but we couldn't tell.
You didn't know for sure.
So, uh, so this is the candidate mask. This single bit to index on a mask should give us the candidate.
Single bit to index.
Yeah.
I don't see that. Oh, there.
This is line 56. So that's the thing that, oh, because it only, okay, sorry. So I think we need to do, so right now I think we're calculating these for all of them. But we want to do it only if there's one. So go back to where we were. So we want to use the candidate mask to do this, but I don't think we can do this for all of them. Right? So if we go to line 25 and a half and do the thing we were about to do, right, which was here, and say this is that, but instead of mask, so we need to put a ternary in front of this. So in line 26, say candidates count equals 1. Then do this, otherwise return 0. And can we not use the thing that we're using here? Yep, so for right now, just do that.
Well, it's not crashing, but is it right? We don't know.
No, I think the answer is that it's right. But once we get this up, this whole thing needs to be severely sanitized. Like this is a crap statement. But okay, so now if we go, so here we're doing this where. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of. I want to combine 31 and 32. So instead of doing, since here, can we just say cell.fromIndex tuple.index.
Without the where?
No, we need the where in the select. I'm trying to combine the two select statements because we
Oh,
turn
I
into
see
it.
what you
Yeah.
mean.
So just do it directly in there. And now we can get rid of that. And now it should still be working. Good. Commit that.
Okay, I can commit it, but it's weird. Like this part.
It's ugly. Totally agree. 100% agree. It's ugly. But
Here's what I'm tempted to do, and you can tell me if it's okay. I want to cut this
no.
and commit like that.
No, please don't.
Okay.
Because what I want to do is put the candidate into the cell. And then I will clean this up.
I'm going to say muck about. That's okay.
Okay. So muck about is fine. Okay, so now where we have the cell from index, I want to say tuple, comma, index, tuple, comma, candidate.
Here?
Yeah, so we're passing two things into the from index. So tuple, comma, index, tuple, comma, candidate. And then quick fix that.
Is this not a new function?
It's right now we only have one function, so we're adding it. So now go to the from index, and when we say new cell, we're going to say new row, column, value. So candidate. But rename candidate now to value. And then fix our constructor and hold on to this one more time. And then thank God we have tests, because the next thing I'm about to do is going to show if this actually worked. So now let's go. Do we commit this?
No, I can.
Yep, definitely.
I'm wary.
Cell contains value. So now go to our program, and where we say 1 plus candidate, we're going to say 1 plus value. Oh man, we're going to fix that in a second. Good. So this is really good. So now we can delete, so now we can commit this. So now we can delete 55 and 56 because they're now dead. They're not dead. Damn it. Hold on. No. Well, yeah. So it's fine. Delete them. And then here, I'm guessing there's a candidate plus 1 here too. Scroll over. Yep. And then I want to get rid of all of that stuff as well. Oh, maybe. Definitely want to get rid of it on candidate. So now we can get rid of, so now we can get rid of 347.
347. Okay, I see it.
Okay.
These side by side so you could jump easily between them, but I don't think that's helping. Should I?
No, this is fine. I like this.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so now I want to get rid of that plus 1. So delete the plus 1 on cell.value.
Here?
Yep, and both places. And here, I want to, in our statement where we do the tuple.candidate, we're going to do tuple.candidate plus 1. Not really where I want it in the end, but good enough for now.
We've expected that to pass.
I totally expected that to pass. It's not passing? Okay, no, it is passing.
Passed. Just
Something's just off with crunch. Can you run that again? Okay, good. Commit that.
what does that cost? Let's see. Value is
One base, yeah.
Fortran.
Okay. So now, can we just rename 51 to index?
Here.
Yeah.
You want to inline it?
I mean, I almost do. Yeah. I mean, what I really want to do is, never mind. Okay. Can you do a where that's index base? Oh no, we can do a skip. So let's try this. Instead of saying single indexes where we're getting the length, do a dots where you have the square braces. Go to the square braces and say dot skip, and then change those square braces to round braces. No, I still want the random nicks thing.
Okay.
Dot skip. Pass this in, and then do a dot first. I might have an off by 1 here. And does that still pass?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Yes, that's exactly what I want. So, do that. Commit that.
Okay, you're gonna have to convince me that skip first is somehow better than indexing, but it's okay.
No problem. I can do that. Change first to first or default. We can now move line 351 outside of the if statement.
You wanna? Oh, boom.
Yeah, but now we change this now to be the if cell is not equal to is not null. Now it should work.
I don't understand why it failed
I actually don't understand
just
why
when I
it failed
moved it
either.
out. Oh, it's because we're calling random number generator next more often. And so the new calls are cycling the stream of random numbers.
Oh yeah, they are. No, but I still want this. Go back. Here, on line, what I'm about to do is all kinds of ugly. I apologize in advance, but at least it's isolated ugly. On 348, I want you to, oh, it's so ugly. So here, what I want you to do is say var skip lowercase equals single candidate indices dot length equals 0. And then question mark. If it's equal to 0, we're going to skip 0. So 0. Otherwise, random dot next candidate. Yeah, that. Can we do a length on something if it's not an array? Oh, it is an array. Okay, good. So it's no problem. Length is not a, yeah. Okay. Ugly, 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 but commit this.
Okay. Could have done that in smaller steps.
Probably that is true. Okay, so now I want that if to switch into an else, if else. So else return false.
Okay. I've been wanting to invert if on here for a while.
Sure, go for it.
Does that get it? Okay.
But I still want the else.
We'll get there. So like, so this is always true.
This is false.
This one is true.
Yeah, that one's true. Sorry. The other one is false. Oh, no, it's not. I mean, it should be false, but it's whatever was passed into us.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go see who calls this?
So this could become or equals.
No. Hold on. Undo that for a second. I don't think that this can ever be anything but false. Double click was changed made. So here it's true. Then go into here. Was made change made is false. And no, go. Where are you doing? Stay where you are. Okay. Double click was change made. So okay. So on line 61, it's true. On line 64, it's false. That false is being passed in, and there's nothing else that changes it between 76. So it's always being passed in false.
Was that a question?
Sorry, because there's a while. So it could be changed to true. Sorry. You're right. Okay, yeah, let's do the or. What you're saying is better. Okay, so now we don't pass it in.
You want me to commit like this, or
I'm fine committing like that. That doesn't break anything.
It doesn't. It's a small step, and it passes tests, but it doesn't make sense by itself.
Yeah, but it's
for
okay.
a reader. I think that seeing that this thing.
I mean, we can do both of them. Yeah.
It's going to
pass that in and change that to false. And then just here, yeah.
That change makes more sense to me.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Except it doesn't build. It makes sense to me, but not the computer.
Well, because you didn't delete it there. And that should build and pass. Yeah. Good. So that is a more bite-size chunk.
Do we want to do that same thing here?
No, not yet. Although I do understand what you're saying, but still, no. Yeah, okay. I guess I do. But no, here just put the or.
Can we go look, see if it's really easy?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, well, this is now keying off the input, which is dumb. This function does nothing, but this is a distraction for what we're trying to do right now.
Yeah, that was a lot more changes than I was expecting to discard. Where are we at? Go look at our.
Where we want to be. There's the
Okay,
or.
good. Okay, so now let's go back into our pick cells with only one candidate remaining. Okay, so first of all, notice that this is now looking a lot more like where
Like
we're
our
headed,
comment. Yeah.
right? So now let's go and make the inner part of this look more like where we're headed. So let's first of all delete the comment. It's now useless. I really do want the else on the other side of the if. Because I
Okay.
think the cognitive load is smaller.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
So I like early return for never mind, we're not actually doing the thing you asked us to do.
Yeah, but I also like we are either doing this or this. I don't have to parse. It's just very clear how this breaks down right now. Early return at the top is like a guard. I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't a guard. This is something else. So now let's go into get cells with only one candidate. It's in the middle of the function.
It is.
And it's not clear it's at the end of the function where with the if it is. Okay, so here now that mask is useless. So we can delete 25. Okay. And then, oh, but no, sorry, don't do that. Keep it. Okay. So is the index useful? It is, because we use that down there. And the candidate count is useful. Okay, so what I want to do is on 29, I want the where to occur here. And then after the where, I want to do one more line and do a dot select. And here is where I want to calculate the candidate. So here we want the index and the candidate. So say return an anonymous object. Yeah, tuple goes into just anonymous. And then inside of here we're going to do index equals tuple.index. And then candidate equals, so copy your candidate on 26. But now we should not need the ternary, because these will always be equal to 1. So we can get rid of that, and we can get rid of that, and where we have mask, it's going to be tuple.mask. Candidate mask. Yeah. All right. And now we no longer need it on line 26, so we can get rid of it there.
We do this all. Assuming that passes.
Yeah. So now we take the things and get the count and the mask and the index. And then we filter the ones that are 1, and then we look up what the value is, and then we return the tuple. And we can inline single candidate indexes and just return this. This is now just a link statement. And there's more we can do with this, but I don't want to do more with it at the moment.
Okay.
I feel like this is clean enough. Does that feel
It's okay with me.
clean enough for you? Okay, good. Okay, so now let's go back up to whoever calls pick cells with only one candidate remaining. It's also, if we want to just go to first or default now, that's like a single line change, right? Like we've isolated out. So even though that tuple is, or that ternary is ugly, if we want to get rid of it, it's completely easy to remove. Does that make sense? You're giving me the frowny face. Let's
No,
go.
that's fine.
Let's go actually do it, and then we'll just revert it. So here we can just now just say skip 0. Skip equals 0.
Equal.
So the easiest way to remove the random aspect of this is just say skip equals 0.
That will change the program.
It will change the, yeah, but it's the thing you were talking about. If our product owner says, I
I
don't care
see.
about the order, right? That removes it. And then we can do cleanup where we actually remove the entire skip call and don't pass in the random. This is going to break because it's changing behavior.
We think we're over specifying,
We think we're over specifying, yeah. But
it does solve at the end. Cool.
yeah. So my point being though, like if our product owner says, let's make this observable feature change, it is trivial to do, right? We would have an F. It wouldn't even have a bang bang. It would just be an F. Okay, so now let's go back to pick cells with only one candidate remaining. Who calls this? Okay, so now this is, I'm pretty happy with this at the moment. Nope, I'm not. Go back into that. We've got to be passing things that we're not using. We are. So let's get rid of the two things we're not using. And then the other thing is I don't like that we're passing in candidates too. Here, if we pass in puzzle.getCandidates, what does that do?
When we just pass in this whole expression,
Yeah. Still pass? It does not still pass. Why not? So I want this to work. So if we undo this, here we do our candidates. Here we do this. Can we open up 76? And no, don't go into it. Just
I've got I
79,
undid
sorry.
the wrong thing. Okay.
So open up 79. And scroll down. Too big. Extract this whole thing as a method, whatever the region is called.
I wish whichever would look at the region, try to find a number which
Can only appear in one.
honest and complete.
Yep. And this is big too, so pull that out. Try to find pairs of digits in the same row column block. Yeah, copy that whole thing. You have a spelling mistake in the middle of that?
Oh, by sharp slow.
Also near the.
How am I doing?
Good enough. There's no way we're keeping this. All right. So here, so we do all this stuff at the end, and um, we're passing puzzle into the first one, but we're passing in board as numbers. No, we're passing in candidates mask. Ah, okay. So the calculate candidates for the current state of the board. That doesn't. So we do actually need to pass in the candidates because right now the board is not holding on to the candidates, right? It's a it is the board right now is a array of integers, right? But what I'd really like it to be is sort of an array of candidates, and you can have a candidate that is. So I still hate candidates. Um, Maybe we can deal with that. Is that a thing we can deal with? So candidate masks is an int array. And what I would love it to be is an array of anything else. So let's do that. So, okay. So this is going to be a little bit weird. We are going to introduce a wrapping function, a wrapping object into candidates. So go up to candidate. No, go back. So candidates 2. Go into that for a second. I don't think this is the thing that we actually have to worry about. This returns candidates, but if we go to look at candidates, what does candidates have? So, no, go look at candidates. No, candidates. I want the candidates class. Okay, so candidates is just a board of ints. I want this to not be a board of ints. I want it to be a board of candidate. I want it to be an array of candidate. Reusing candidates is a bit. So okay, so let's make. Oh, okay, yeah, this will be easy. Go back to where we are in program. On candidates.board, candidates2.board, control click on in the board part. Is this a good? This is a getter. Let's redefine the getter. So return board.map2 or cast. I think we can do a cast. Oh, I'm about to do something really ugly. And you're going to cast it to cell with or cell with possibilities. This is what I'm doing right now is crappy, but create that object and make a cast function on there from int and to int, actually. Just go both ways for right now.
Will this thing make one for me? Well, no. Implicit? How does this work?
Oh god, it's been a long time since I've written a cast function. This is maybe a place where we Google casting things and see sharp.
Generate for me.
Actually, you know what? Don't do this. I hate that we're doing this.
Okay.
Just do a map. and I goes to new cell with possibilities, I, and then dot to array. And then let's create, yeah, fair enough. And then let's create the cell with possibilities, I, yep. And then hold on to that as just value. No, it's actually a mask. Hold on to that as mask. And then make it so this returns a, yep, that. And then we're going to go back to where we're calling it, and because every place here is going to be super unhappy. Oh, but cell with possibilities, we need to make a method, and I actually want a method on this called get mask or mask. No, not here. Just go to cell, or just go into cells with possibilities. And I'm doing a huge refactoring right now. That's ugly. Oh, we have a mask.get. Okay, fine. So then go back to, no select. We're gonna handle this cascading down.
If we put a select in here, does that let us commit before the next step?
Commit. Yeah. Okay, do that. C goes to c.mask, and then dot to array. Yep, that's the right thing. Thanks for pausing my bigger thing and chunking it. Why is that unhappy? Oh, wait, why is that unhappy? No, you shouldn't have had to do that. Undo that. Go back to where we started. What's not happy?
This mask is a
So
cell with.
this shouldn't be getting a cell with. Let's go back to where we are.
Well, we just changed this thing. Do you want this to be underscore board? There we go. That'll work.
I guess so. Yes.
That won't work.
Wait, it should. So go back and it's compiling right now, right?
Compiling but failing. And force a run.
Test method 1. Oh, yep. So, oh no, this is our everything, right? How is this failing?
I don't see it.
It looks like something's happening. There's a red line or something.
It's like a Unicode versus not Unicode or something like that. I don't get it.
Close. Through exception, hun.
Approval does not match.
Okay, open those two files and compare them again. So they're different types of files, but that shouldn't.
It doesn't make any sense.
Can you show white space?
Hold on a second. What I'm going to do here is see if this diff shows me anything. That's quite different.
That's very different.
Oh, diffs. Those are diffs. There, now I see them.
Okay, now I see them. So we're missing this whole section of things. So let's go back to where we were. But this makes sense to me.
Okay. We are in a broken state.
Yeah.
And it might be close to a good stopping point.
That's a fairly valid point. Um, we're passing candidates 2 into um, try on line 76 passing candidate masks in. No, sorry. Undo this for a second. Go into, oh, because now we're calculating something that needs to be, yeah, so this should be passing, oh, damn. Yep. Revert. No, but I really want this. Revert it, though. Revert it.
Should we make notes about where we're trying to go and pick up next time?
Yep. That sounds like a good. Um, yeah. Have so candidates returns candidates. It's really candidates board. It's one underneath here that is the problem. Have candidates return a wrapping object.
All right.
Yeah. Because that allows us to take the mask out that we're passing around all the way. Right? Like right now, we can't put anything on an int. Right? Because an int is out of our control. Actually, I assume that's true. You can't extend int, right?
You can put extension methods on it.
Yeah, but that's not what I want.
Okay.
Is that what I want? I don't think that's what I want. Huh. Yeah, I think we want this not to be an array of ints. We want it to be an array of something that has ints, so we can start pushing stuff into it, right?
What's the thing you want to put on it?
I want to put stuff like the masks. I want to get away from the bit manipulation, right? Because when we do things like if we go to calculate candidates for current state of the board, and yeah, here. If we look here in this stupid for loop thing, here what we're doing is removing. I really want candidates to be an array of cells, or not even an array of cells. I want it to be like a list of cells, where the cell knows its row, its index, and what's possible, right? And possibly a value, right? Like I have a value, I know what's possible, that kind of thing. So anyhow, we'll come back to that. Let's set up for retro. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Jay,
Mm-hmm.
I just totally figured it out. I
Mm-hmm.
know we have to stop and we can't do it till next week, but I completely, especially with if you remember going back to candidates, right now it's separate from the board, right? Because we have this thing where we calculate the candidates for the current state of the board, but what we really want is to be able to get the candidates from the board, right? Um, I don't even care that it's wrapping right now. Much more fundamental to what our goal that we introduced in the middle, right, is if these candidates, then this thing where we say pick cells with only one candidate remaining, that becomes a, a solving technique, right? And then the next thing is a solving technique, and the next thing is a solving technique, right? And now we just have three solvers, or four solvers, it looks like, and then we can add in new solvers. So we could do things like the chess constraints or stuff like that. Because now we just have a link of solvers, and hey, here are different things we can do to solve a puzzle. Try it, try it, try it, try it, try it. See if anything's changed. Go until nothing solves or the puzzle is solved. So it's a super useful thing. Does that make sense?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
What else should I write here to record this
Uh,
insight?
add. So okay. So what I want to do is um, add constraints into the board. Not constraints. Add candidates into the board, and then abstract uh, solving solutions. Yeah. There we are.
Good. Okay. All right. Started to build the retro.
Nice. Okay. So questions. Do we have blocking questions? Do I have blocking questions? I don't think I have one. Although no, I don't think I do. What about you?
Uh, I feel like we are approaching a time box, and I want to figure out how we produce a satisfying result in that time box.
So by time box, you mean 1 minute, or the next session is our session
The
8?
next session is
Okay.
our,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I think actually we're going to get there for the product owner, but satisfying is maybe not the right word, because I think we can get it for the, we sort of had this, hey, we want to do something, and I think we can actually hit that goal, but the code is not perfectly clean,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no way it's going to be perfectly clean in the 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But it's already, like, I feel like this code is much better than when we started.
It's definitely better in some ways. I think it's also worse in some ways.
Okay. Ooh. So go under domain and say, put better and worse. I don't really, at this moment, care too much about the better, but tell me about the worse. No, put two nodes. So how do you feel it's worse?
Uh, there are some concepts that have been introduced where it's not clear what the concepts are. So we have applesauce nonsense names, and those
Oh
are
yeah, those are
missing
worse. Okay,
concepts.
so let's go there and put the applesauce nonsense names.
But there's also like the cell is a row and a column and a value.
Yep, and it actually should be four things.
Okay.
should be row, column, value, and possibles.
Okay, that's not a cell. That's something else.
Why
So
is that not a cell?
it's it needs a name that represents the fact that it is these four things,
It's a
but I
cell.
don't know what that thing is called.
It's
So
called a
there's also
cell.
a, well, row and column and value is a thing, and row and column are a thing. So there's three different domain concepts, and they probably need three different types, but I don't know what to call those three different types.
Right, but this whole collection is a cell. It's a square on the Sudoku board.
In the bounded context of an unsolved puzzle, that is what a cell is.
Mm-hmm.
In the context of a solved puzzle, possibilities is not relevant.
It's completely relevant. There are zero possibilities.
That feels like one of those.
Actually, there's two possibilities for what it's. They're either zero possibilities if it's solved, which is what
Well,
I
one
would prefer,
possibility.
or it's one. Well, I would be okay with either model,
Okay.
right? I
That,
like from the way it's doing it here. I like the idea that there are zero possibilities.
I can imagine saying it either has a value or it has a collection of possibilities.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, this is an either.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that I think there are two separate concepts here though. There's like a solved cell and an unsolved cell. And just calling it cell is confusing.
but I want a collection
Doesn't
of both solved and unsolved cells,
yeah.
and that's why I think cell is the right thing.
Okay.
But we can explore that more.
Okay.
Um, More importantly, right now, is the possibilities. All three of these are in board except for possibilities. The board does not track possibilities,
Mm-hmm.
and it should.
Okay.
Um, I told you to do the same impossible thing twice in a row. Wait, which was the impossible thing?
We were adding a static field and you told me to remove var, but removing var does not make the code work. You have to replace var
Oh,
with the type.
okay. But it's not
And
impossible to remove var.
it's impossible code.
Yeah,
It's
but it would highlight what's wrong in a different way.
so I was trying to say no or trying to do the right thing, but you told me again to do the thing.
Yeah, fair
That's the
enough.
wrong thing.
Sorry about that. So, what should we do to make that better in the future?
Uh, so I think it was fine to tell me the first time, and then I needed a minute to
So,
do something.
one of the reasons I told you the second time is because I you didn't do it, and I assumed you didn't do it because you didn't hear me. But
Hmm.
you were not doing it because you're like, I can't remove it. I need to replace it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know I'm now like throwing your annoyance back on you, but would it be possible for you to tell me why you can't do the impossible thing?
I felt like I started to say why, and that's when you told me the second time before
Okay,
I
so I
could
need to give you more
say that thing.
space.
Yeah,
Sorry about that, man.
it's okay.
You also have typist blur, but I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, I feel like this is a phenomenon we've talked about before, but I think it needs a name. As typist, my brain is quite full just from
Oh
the
yeah,
work of typing,
yeah,
and there's this feeling of like I don't know what's going on, but it's okay that I don't know what's going on because I'm so busy typing. I just don't have brain capacity for
yeah,
figuring out what's going on, and that's okay. That's a normal typist thing. I think typists in mobs run into this problem all the time without realizing
yeah.
that it's happening
Typist
to them
blur.
and that it's okay and normal. And I think it needs like a proper name with capital letters.
I
Uh,
love the idea of giving this concept a name because I think it's a really important concept. Also, we are aggravating this concept because you are always typing.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, like in a mob, you'd have typist blur and then you digest it.
Yeah. I,
Um,
so for anybody watching this, I am really good at the job of typist in a mob. You should not expect to be able to do this as well as I am. Like people don't even realize that this is a hard job, and
yeah.
I'm unusually good at it. So
And
if
you
you,
are usually good at it for a combination of reasons, but one being like you have practiced it for a long time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a strange thing to claim, like, oh, I'm really good at typing stuff for other people, but it's a hard thing.
It
And if
is.
you try to do this, and like you feel overwhelmed or uncomfortable, you're on display, you're vulnerable, you're the mistakes that you make, everybody can see them. That's a difficult thing to cope with if you're not used to it. And I have a lot of practice, and still, with all of this practice and developed skill, I still experience this thing of I'm not exactly overwhelmed. I'm just so full of the experience of typing that I don't have capacity for anything else. And so I feel a little lost and confused about what we're doing in the code sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I just don't have the capacity to think about that. I'll just keep typing.
Yeah. That I think there's also a skill. I remember like when I first started to snowboard, I had rollerbladed before that. There's this thing when you're like when you're skiing or boarding or blading or uh, skating or surfing, where it's like you are still able to maintain some control even though you're moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't just stop and move, but you still have this ability. And they're getting just being comfortable with the idea that it's like my control is limited because I'm moving, but I still am okay. Like I still have some, right? Like there's the ability to be comfortable with I don't have complete control, but I still have control. And I think there's a thing in typing where it's like I don't have complete understanding, but I can still I can still function in this place where I have this typist blur, right? The idea that like getting comfortable with working with the blur is a skill,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah. Yeah, there's both fog and full. Full being this idea that like I have more to digest than I can currently digest. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's really common as a typist to think, oh, hold on, I can't type that yet because I don't understand what we're doing.
Yeah.
And knowing to set that aside is important because you're not the programmer, you're just the intelligent input device.
Yeah.
But um, yeah, let's look for a name. It might key off, like if there's an alliteration or it rhymed or something, that might be good. But it might be like driver dumbfoundedness, or I don't know. So there's something out there.
Typing. I don't have a good
Tumult.
keyword for that. But I like the idea a lot of giving this a name. Also, there's an interesting pattern where we started this with like a comment that sort of said, "This is where we want to go," and we basically hit that, right? Like in the end, this code doesn't exactly look like that, but it kind of
Mm-hmm.
looks like that. And there's two things about that that I think are interesting. One is it doesn't exactly look like that. So it makes me really nervous to have like had we done a rewrite, right? Because it doesn't
Mm.
exactly look like it, the rewrite probably wouldn't have exactly looked like that. And even though we would have rewritten it much faster than we did it, I'd be terrified that we have messed it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I feel like it's one of those things where we would have gotten to like 95% of the thing much, much quicker. And
Mm-hmm.
then that last 5% would have made it much, much slower.
Yeah, there's that thing that programmers always run into of like, okay, hold on, I just need to do this one more thing. I had
Yeah.
this idea, I did it. Wait, one more
One
thing.
more
Okay,
thing.
no, that's broken over here. Just one more thing. I'm almost there. One more thing.
Yeah.
And then I've missed dinner.
Yeah. And and if you don't have tests, you don't even know that you haven't quite gotten there. right?
We're really lucky to have good tests here.
Yeah, we're really lucky
Or
to have good
lucky.
tests.
I mean, we designed it, but
And then the other thing is, at the same time, there's this part of me that's like, when is it more appropriate to do a minor rewrite than a right? And I definitely feel like there are times where it's faster to rewrite than it is to refactor,
Mhm.
right? And obviously there are times where we do that. Like there, usually it's that time where one of us is saying, "This is getting kind of big," um, but I'm not sure I have a great sense of where that boundary is, and I feel like if there's someone who should have a good sense of it, it's me, right? Like this is my domain that I live and play in, and like I'm very very comfortable here. And the fact that even with all that, I don't have a good sense makes me just extremely uncomfortable about ever doing it, basically.
Yeah. So it's useful, I think, to set a time box. Like
I
we're
like
gonna
the time
try the
box idea a
minor
lot. Yeah.
rewrite, but it's so tempting. Like, oh, we're at the 3 minutes and it still doesn't work. Oh, but I'm so close, right? Like,
Yeah.
and there's something else. I don't know. It's definitely risky. The fact that we have tests is part of why it
Allows us
even
to
feels
have
okay to,
even, yeah,
yeah.
the tests have allowed us to take much bigger steps.
I think most people watching would say you've never taken a big step. Like
That's
when
possible. We
we
feel like
get
we're
to two
taking huge
minutes,
steps.
yeah, like if we get to 2 minutes, we're like, oh, hold on, this is a
Yeah.
mess. Back up and try again. But that's how we roll.
So I was really, there was a point when I was doing a refactoring and you're like, if we did this, we could check it in. And we didn't, because when we did that, it highlighted a problem fundamentally with what we're doing. But I'm also really grateful that you said that, because I think I would have opened, like, I think I was opening trouble, like I was opening a can of worms or Pandora's box, and I feel like you stopped me, and I'm just glad about that.
Away the checkpoint.
Yeah, and the way you phrased it was really nice.
Mm.
Like, like that phrasing made it easier for me to halt and stop.
Cool.
All right. Should we call that a day?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to close off the screen. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good.